Hi YouTube, this is Darkon633 back with another Transformers review. Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Power of the Primes Legends Class Windcharger. Now 2017 was a pretty crazy year for me. There was a lot of things that happened in my life and also for collecting as well. We had a lot of crazy stuff happening, especially in the last bit of 2017, so it's pretty nuts what we got so far. So I decided to start out pretty easy with a Legends Class figure, which I recently got sometime before the holidays. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the card first. The card is a pretty interesting Legends Class style. Shows that it is part of the Power of the Primes line. Side, it pretty much shows the same photo as it is on the front, along with his vehicle mode there. And on the back, it just shows pretty much what you expect, although there isn't any cross-branding outside of the actual Prime Masters there. Now, we're going to take a look at its contents. It doesn't have any weapons, but it does include this card. And my version is Vector Windcharger, which I think turns pretty cool actually in the way that the name looks. So before anything else, here is the new Windcharger next to the what was technically deemed the update prior to this release, and that is the revealed Shield Windcharger. Now, it seems like they went back to the style of the actual Legends, since the older Windcharger here was pretty much a Scout class figure, since it's a lot taller than a standard Legend. But it's nice that we actually got a new representation of the character, especially that this one is definitely a lot more G1 accurate compared to that release. Not saying the other figure was a bad release, but this is definitely a lot more G1 in terms of design. Now we're going to take a look at articulation points. The head is on a swivel, ball joints for the shoulders, and they can bend up and down due to the secondary joint inside. He has ball joints at the elbows. No other joints there. He has no waist articulation, but he has ball joints at the hips. And he does have a standard knee joint. So you're not going to get a whole lot of articulation because it is a Legends Class figure, but it does look really nice, and it's definitely a lot better representation, at least in terms of accuracy, compared to the other release. Anyways, we're going to quickly go to the transformation, which is pretty easy actually, but it does have some few cool aspects. First, what we're going to do is pull this part here, which does peg into the back right there. We're going to turn the head. You don't exactly need to do that, but it does make it better since it doesn't expose the face in vehicle mode that way. We're going to bend this forward, so it looks like this. From there, we're going to slide these arm pieces in, but don't plug them in all the way because you do need to move this piece. You're going to slide over these so that it becomes the roof of the car. Slide these over like this. So it's got a lot of aspects of the other version, but there is a few different points of transformation here. And then what we're going to do is slide this in so that they go inside the actual components. It's a little bit hard if you decide to do it in a different way. So it's best to actually keep these into position properly first. And then what we're going to do is from here, which can be a little bit tricky, we're going to plug this over, slide these inside, which is the part that can be tricky, since everything needs to be aligned properly in order to place everything together before they connect snugly together. From here, it's a little bit problematic with this part here. Once it does, it should go together nicely. So now, with that, we have Windcharger fully in his vehicle mode. Now I got the Power of the Primes Legends Class Windcharger in his vehicle mode. Now this is actually a pretty good representation of Windcharger, although there's a few areas that I do have a little bit of problems with. It does seem like it's got a little bit of issues actually aligning, and I've tried my best to actually try to squeeze the parts together, but unfortunately it's just not working out as well as I hoped. But luckily it does stay on the ground pretty nicely, and it does roll normally, so at least we have that going on. As a comparison, here he is next to the older Legends Class version of Windcharger. It's definitely a lot smaller and a lot sleeker than this release, but because of that, I do really like actually how this one turned out. think it is a pretty faithful representation of the character, and it's really nice that we got such a great update to one of the cooler mini-bots. In conclusion, I think this is a pretty nice release, and although I wasn't initially going to pick it up, when I saw more photos of this particular release, I decided that maybe it was better off actually getting it. I'm actually glad I did. It's definitely a lot better than I anticipated, and especially with the last release during Titan's Returns, which was another retool of the Tailgate mold, I really didn't see the reason to get another Windcharger, especially after seeing that. But seeing how faithful this particular version of Windcharger is a lot better to its original G1 design, I think this turned out a lot better than I originally thought. So I definitely recommend picking this up, even if you have the Reveal a Shield Windcharger, since in my opinion this will probably work out a lot better if you're going for a little bit more faithful G1 display. I got this particular figure at Hasbrotoyshop, and it was a little bit delayed because it seemed like it was a slight back order for some of the legends, but hopefully the other legends will be easier to get since I still need to get Beachcomber and also Slash. Anyways, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hirotaku. Also check me on Twitter under Darkon633, and also check my Instagram under Darkon633 as well. Please check the other channels at the bottom of the screen, and also check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible. I'm back with more Transformers reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.